I often get asked these questions. I want to become a PHP developer, but I don't know where to start. What should I learn first? Is it even worth to start learning PHP or programming, since AI is going to take our jobs anyways? While ones are worried about AI and thinking to buy a land and start farming to survive, I created PHP Developer Roadmap for others who believe that with correct path, they can become so great developers that AI cannot replace them. Spoiler alert. AI cannot replace me, but a developer who knows how to use AI to create projects faster and better than me can replace me. So I know what I need to do. I need to become so great in AI that nobody can replace me. Hello everyone, my name is Zura and I'm the Codeholic. I have 13 years of experience working as a professional software developer. And in this video, I'm going to share my knowledge how I view you can become full-stack PHP developer that everyone wants to hire. If you want to get the presentation I prepared, you can check the video description. In this presentation, I have also added my estimates how much time you're going to need to learn specific subjects and how many months you're going to need to become the full-stack developer you are aiming to. If you're interested in attending a course which will follow the following roadmap and guide you in every step of becoming a PHP developer, you can check the video description. I have 3-question Google form and you're going to need less than 20 seconds to complete the form. The course will be premium and number of seats will be limited. Check the video description, fill the form, and we'll get back to you. Now let's start with the first steps, and we're going to talk about prerequisites and basics. The first thing what I want you to do is to create an account on ChatGPT and Cloudy AI. These two are arguably the most common AI chatbots, and you are going to make them as your best friends. You're going to talk to them every day, multiple times a day, and ask everything what you don't know. And the AI chatbots also going to understand that you are aiming to become a full-stack PHP developer, and they will give you the appropriate answers on your questions. Next, you're going to find out all the people who are in your journey, like want to become a full-stack PHP developers or are already full-stack PHP developers, and follow them on Twitter. So I assume that registration and following on people doesn't take too much time, so I assigned 0 days to them. Actually, so you can do this in a 1 hour everything. Next is to find out how internet and websites work. You need to know what is IP address, what is server, what is DNS, how domains actually work. You're going to also understand what is the browser's request response flow, what happens internally when you access some domain. You're going to also learn the basics of HTTP protocol. What is HTTP protocol? What status codes are there? Don't go too deep in these subjects because they might discourage you. Just learn the basics, okay? And I assume that 1 day for each of them will be absolutely enough. And the time estimates what I gave right here are actually very conservative. So I believe that you can even achieve these results in a shorter time frame. Next, you're going to start with the basics of HTML and CSS. What is HTML? You're going to learn some common tags and to create the content, and you're going to learn the forms and basics of CSS as well. Don't go again too deep, just learn the most common things and the most common things of CSS as well. Learn the basics of JavaScript, how to include JavaScript in the HTML document, create functions, what is objects, how to actually recursively call the functions, and how you order functions as well. Next, you're going to learn Git and GitHub, which are absolutely crucial for any developer. What is version control system in general, how they work, and the most basic commands. I assume that all of them will need 25 days if you work hard, and you can definitely achieve this in a shorter time frame as well. Next, we're going to create the website with the knowledge we already got. We know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and let's create our first static website. We can take an existing free HTML, CSS template and modify this for us, put your personal information. That's going to be your portfolio website. Okay, you can create also your own custom one if you learn these HTML and CSS skills on a decent level. Next, you're going to host the website somewhere and make it accessible for others. So you're going to gradually add your gained knowledge onto the website. You can use some free hosting services like Netlify, for example, and put this there. And you can also get their free domain, which is going to be the subdomain of Netlify. However, if you want to buy your premium domain, I really recommend this. but you have to pay something for it. So in this case, you're going to have more professional look, and it's always better to have a custom domain rather than free, but at this stage, it is not mandatory. The main thing is you create the website, you host it somewhere, make it accessible, even if it's not your own custom domain. So this will take about 6 days. So after 6 days, you have your own website. Next, we are gonna focus on more heavy things, like we're gonna understand what are relational database, how they work, what is table, what is foreign key, how they relate, how to write SQL queries, and so on. And then you're going to practice. Again, you have to practice on HTML and CSS and JavaScript, but you're going to practice on writing SQL queries as well. And generally creating a database schema, creating tables, creating relations, and then write SQL queries. After this, we're going to already start working on PHP syntax. Like what is variable, what is type, numbers, strings, arrays, some conditionals, loops, functions, all these basic things. Again, some PHP specific things like dates, including files, working with file system, JSON, basics of object-oriented programming, CRL, sessions, cookies. Right here on the following step, if you are already familiar with one of the programming languages like JavaScript, for example, you are gonna be already familiar. So this will be slightly easier. You can even cover this in one day. Like all these things will be very common to existing your already known programming language, so you can actually do this in one day. Next is we are gonna work on the databases. So we know how to work with the databases, how to write SQL queries, and we know a little bit of PHP already. So we're going to learn how to work with the databases using PHP, like reading, writing, updating data, deleting data from the database using PHP. Next, we're going to practice and we're going to create some projects. Again, on every step, you can use ChatGPT or Cloudy or any like famous and powerful AI chatbot to ask them certain things. And you can also ask them to give you some practice challenges. So give you some projects, small projects to work on. And you're going to work on these projects with your current knowledge and put everything on GitHub. Whatever you do, put that on GitHub. Okay, next is you're going to learn autoloading and Composer. How to create your own autoloader, what is Composer, how to create Composer package as well. Next, you're going to practice again and rebuild some of your projects or create new projects with Composer and autoloading. And you're going to improve your existing projects and update them on GitHub. And I assume that this is the very heavy work and you're going to need about 51 days. So I actually took the maximum amounts right here. So we have 2 to 3 days, 3 to 5 days. So I always took maximum numbers and maximum days will be 51 days. Next, we're going to continue this heavy work and we're going to practice with third-party packages. You're going to learn how to install third-party packages in Composer, for example, OpenAI's API package, and how to use that in your own project. And then you can already create and update your portfolio using PHP. Okay, so we created that static website, HTML, CSS website, we host it somewhere, use the free domain. Now you know much more than you knew before, right? So you need to update that website. You also need to put that information on GitHub. Both will be ideal. You add more images and videos and demo links if possible to showcase your work on your portfolio website. Next, we're gonna learn object-oriented programming in deep because I think this is foundational for any subsequent things, any frameworks on PHP and so on. So you're gonna learn what is inheritance, abstraction, interfaces, traits, namespaces, all that kind of things. Object-oriented programming is actually can be very big topic. So again, I split this into 2 parts. You're going to learn what is static, constant, some magic methods, attributes, and so on. Then we need to again apply practice. We need to use our advanced object-oriented knowledge, what we got so far, and we can use abstractions or interfaces and create more projects. Again, you can use ChatGPT or Cloudy AI to ask to give you some projects to practice on object-oriented programming. Everything what you do, put on your GitHub and preferably on your portfolio website as well with some demo link, video, or images. Cool. Next, we are going to start working on building your own MVC framework. I think this is great challenge. I have a tutorial playlist on my YouTube channel, which is a couple of years ago, but I plan to update this framework in the future. So you can check the video description. Maybe you can find updated version of this MVC framework. You're going to learn how to create custom routing, what is MVC. You're going to work with forms and validations inside this framework, how to create migration system, login, registration, password encryption, and so on. So all these things will give you huge knowledge, believe me. Next, you're going to rebuild your portfolio website, but in this case, use your custom framework, what you did. So every time you build something or rebuild the same thing with a different way, you'll learn a lot. And I'm telling this from my 13 years of experience. Next, you're going to learn what is API. So what is API, how to interact with APIs, how to create your own API, and you're going to also learn how to create a project which will serve as an API project. So again, this is a heavy work. I took the maximum days, and totally this needs 53 days. Next, we're going to learn some popular PHP frameworks, Laravel, Symfony, CodeIgniter, or E2 framework. Laravel obviously is the most popular PHP framework, and I actually do have Laravel for Beginners course on my YouTube channel as well as on my website. Learning a framework roughly can take 30 days. So this 30 days arguably can be smaller, can be larger, but I took this average from my experience again. I have this Laravel course on my YouTube channel. You can check it, Laravel 11 in 11 hours, or if you want the full version of it, which is totally 24 plus hours, 300 polished videos, some quizzes, challenges, certificate of completion, private community, Discord group, and much more than this, you can check it on my website, thecodeholic.com. This is the point in your journey where you need to apply for jobs. From now on, there are many more things to learn, but you are already hireable. You can already work on real projects, and try to apply as many jobs in your area you are interested in as you can, because sometimes you might need to apply to 100 jobs to get a one. And it doesn't matter how many times you will be rejected. You need only one acceptance. When you will be accepted once, everything will be changed. So rejection is usual. Rejection is okay. I have been rejected a couple of times during my career. That's totally fine. The main thing is you keep doing, keep applying, keep working, and I can guarantee you that at some point you will be hired, and that will transform your career. Or actually, if you're interested to build your own freelance projects, you can already start offering your services to others. Okay, next we're going to learn the project deployment. Actually, project deployment is also part of my premium course on thecodeholic.com, or you can find some free videos on YouTube as well. So you're going to rebuild again your project or projects now using the popular framework. So far, we built them, then we moved them on our custom MVC framework, but recently we learned popular PHP frameworks such as Laravel or Symfony. Right? So we're going to move our projects into these frameworks because everyone nowadays, if you want to get a job, you actually need those frameworks. So you're going to rebuild them. You're going to rebuild your new website as well using these popular PHP frameworks. And then you're going to purchase the domain because we need to host our projects and portfolio, everything on a more professional domain. We are actually getting ready to get hired. So next, you're going to learn how to deploy your project or projects on a custom domain. I do have tons of free videos how to deploy your Laravel projects on shared hosting, which is the most affordable option, or on VPS hosting, which is a more complete solution. Shared hosting is very easy to start, but it has kind of some limitations. If you want some background processes, if you want supervisor management, queue management, that is not available in shared hosting. However, you can achieve these things on VPS hosting. I have videos on both of them. So totally, I assume that rebuilding the projects, rebuilding your website, you have to move actually this into Laravel, will totally take about 16 days. Next, we're going to learn some JavaScript framework because we are aiming to become a full stack developer and we need JavaScript for this. If you are planning to move on the Laravel side, you need to learn Alpine.js, which is very small, very lightweight, and easy to learn framework. You're going to probably need about like 5 days maximum to learn Alpine and even build the project with that. I actually have a free YouTube course on Alpine on my YouTube channel as well. However, if you are aiming to become a more full stack type of developer and use a single page application frameworks, you need to learn Angular, React, or Vue. They are more complete full stack, not full stack, but fully featured front-end frameworks than Alpine.js, and Laravel actually works great with React and Vue as well. So I recommend it, if you decided to choose like Laravel as your choice, I recommend to choose React or Vue to learn it with Laravel, and you can use it with Laravel with the help of Inertia, for example, which is a glue framework to connect Laravel and React or Vue.js together. Okay, so I assume that learning the basics of these frameworks like React or Vue will take maximum 15 days, including building a few projects, 1 or 2 or maximum 3 projects with these frameworks. Again, don't try to master in these frameworks from day one. You will master step by step. The main thing is that you know how to install, how to use, how to connect your Laravel application, and then build something simple. Then you can build something more advanced. Okay, next is actually to learn some advanced concepts, such as you're going to learn how to work with the terminal and learn the basics of Linux commands, how to use the terminal to connect to server, how to execute some commands on the connected server, and so on. You're going to also learn some basics of server configuration, and again, you can ask ChatGPT or any valid AI chatbot for this. How to configure Nginx or Apache on the server to reconfigure this on your own needs. You're going to also learn how to work with Docker, how to use an existing Docker images, how to Dockerize your existing application, and how to create new images as well. Docker is actually an essential tool, in my opinion, if you are aiming to become solid, full stack, upper intermediate to senior level of developer. I also recommend to learn some design patterns. Learn the most common ones and try to use them in your existing projects. Okay, maybe refactor your existing projects, refactor your frameworks, your own framework, or your own projects using these design patterns. At this stage, I think that you have a decent level how to work with AI, but it's not going to hurt you if you take some serious time, like 7 to 10 days, specifically to learn the best practices how to work with AI, how to ask the correct questions, how to give the correct context, and so on. There is actually a lot of things to learn right here, and I also feel that I need to learn a lot of things in terms of AI prompting. Next, I recommend to also learn the basics of DevOps. So what is DevOps in general, how to use the DevOps to deploy your projects, to implement all these workflows. That's going to shift your skills to the next level. This will take additional 37 total days. So finally, if you work few hours on every day, including weekends, I believe that you can achieve this in 8 months. And when I say days in my previous slides, I don't mean 8 hours working day. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so you can achieve this in 8 months if you work few hours every day, including weekends. However, if you don't want to work on weekends and you want to work on only weekdays, you can achieve the same result in 10 months. And also please keep in mind that that's not entry level, that's not intermediate, that is upper intermediate level. If you're interested in attending a course which will follow the following roadmap and guide you in every step of becoming a PHP developer, you can check the video description. I have 3-question Google form and you're going to need less than 20 seconds to complete the form. The course will be premium and number of seats will be limited. Check the video description, fill the form, and we'll get back to you. I'm going to give you some additional general advices as well. Create accounts on all social platforms, Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and document your journey. Make notes, write posts on Facebook and Twitter, or create videos for TikTok and YouTube, because when you share your knowledge, it is absolutely different story. One thing is when you learn something, you think you know it, but when you start sharing it, you discover that some things are not clear for you, and you learn much more when you try to teach others. So document your journey and share is one of the most important advice I can give you, so just follow this, please. You're going to explore others' work. Try to have a look in other open source projects. Try to clone them on local computer, explore them. You're going to learn a lot of things in terms of new ways how to solve the same problem, best practices, and try to contribute in these open source projects as well. Because when you try to contribute, your code will be reviewed by some senior guys and they will give you proper advices. Or if you manage to actually successfully contribute, you will get much more known in the community and you might get the job offer just from the contributions. And use AI on every step of your journey. Like use it as your coach or mentor and ask it anything what you want. Or if you need a human coach, you can reach me on X or Instagram and I will do my best to help you. That's it, my friends. I hope this path will give you exactly what you're looking for. If you want to download the presentation, check the video description. You might find other useful links as well. Follow me on social media platforms, subscribe if you are not yet subscribed, and I will see you in the next time. Good luck with the journey.